Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. On my previous video about the Canon 1Dx Mark II, we've had some great feedback from Andrew Reid from EOSHD. And I have a lot of respect for Andrew. I always like to read his articles, and he's very knowledgeable on video. And he's got some great comments on the Canon 1Dx Mark II that he left on that video on the channel on Art of the Image. From a filmmaking perspective, Andrew says, the 1DX2 slaughters the D5. Video bitrate on the 1DX2 is 800 mbits on top setting and versus just 140 on the D5. Maximum frame rate in 4K is 60 frames per second on the Canon, just 30 frames per second on the Nikon. Color sampling is 422 on the 1DX2, but 420 on the D5, and you have to go via HDMI to get the better color sampling. You say, why wouldn't they put H265 on the 1DX2? Valid criticism, as Samsung NX1 already has that, and the MJPEG file sizes are massive. But there's a couple of very good reasons why. H265 isn't part of any standard or established professional workflow yet. It is only just becoming supported by editing software like Adobe Premiere. And that's true. I've noticed Premiere is supporting it, but up until just recently it wasn't, and not too many other people are. The official reason H265 isn't on the 1DX2 is the amount of heat the encoder chip would generate in a tightly weather-sealed body. That seems to be a standard reason we're getting on a lot of bodies on why we have certain video features not available or 4K not available is heat generation. So interesting. They couldn't risk reliability issues by putting a hot, unreliable smartphone-style processor in a professional body. I own the 1DC with MJPEG and Samsung NX1 with H265, and quality-wise, the MJPEG has the edge. It is only the file sizes which are inefficient. Compression is like the JPEG stills, maintains fine noise grain and tons of detail. Yes, the file sizes are massive, but you can convert to smaller and smoother to edit in ProRes LT files in post and delete the MJPEG files with no loss of quality. Then there's the resolution. 4096 by 2160 cinema standard 4K versus just 3840 by 2160 on the Nikon, resulting in a tighter crop of sensor as well. So some really great feedback from Andrew. Thanks very much, Andrew. And as you can tell, Andrew's very familiar with these cameras, with this terminology, and just with shooting at a high level of video. So he really knows his stuff here. And it's interesting why, his reason why they didn't go H265. It makes sense. You're getting into a hotter, more heat generation on a weather-sealed body. So, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that, but it makes total sense. And, I guess quality-wise, you can't argue you're going to get the best quality out of MJPEG files. I guess I'm so used to being able to get good quality out of H264, like on my Panasonic G7. Also of note, as Andrew says, is the video bit rate. The 800 versus 140, that's pretty significant. So a lot of reasons here from a professional video maker, from a professional video guy, Andrew at EOSHD, why the 1DX Mark II will slaughter the D5 as far as video is concerned. What do you guys think? Do you agree with Andrew and most of his points? Were these things you hadn't thought of? Leave some comments below. Let's discuss it a little further. But it looks, at least from Andrew's feedback here, that the 1DX2 may in fact be the slaughterer, the king, whatever you want to call it, of the Nikon D5, or over the Nikon D5 when it comes to video. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks, Andrew, for your feedback. Very much appreciated. And, folks, you can check him out over at EOSHD for lots of good articles and stuff on shooting video, obviously with a lot of on the Canon side, too. And thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.